destroy the forest.
We have to do something. Let our powers combine. Earth, fire,
Water.
Hide! With your powers combined, I am Captain Planet! Go Planet!
Alright, here we are again at my university, and this will be Mariah's Stars $30 Bandit, and another successful Gorilla Grow so far. So I put in Marigold, and this episode is basically about organic and natural pest control. Now first I've put the marigolds next to things like leafy greens and of the variety of like veggies, not like really, I didn't really put it here because of the lemon verbena, which is kind of like a little tree, even though it doesn't get over 5 meters, so they don't count it as a tree. But you can see what I mean. It's got like a trunk, and these ones are just like veggies without trunks. So I want it to also block the sun a little bit. I'm also going to put like something else here to sort of sometimes cast a bit of a shadow for a little bit longer over these veggies in the morning. But mainly this is about pest control, and so that's the other reason I'm putting it next to the veggies, because the veggies are most likely going to get eaten by pests. Now I was also at the nursery and I saw some stuff called Ladies Love, and this Ladies Love stuff was another plant that I'm going to research, and I'll probably just add the research I find on that on the end of this video. But I have to go do that after. So first we're going to read out this printout that I've got from the Earth Matters page in consciouszine.com, and that's the Earth Matters page with the little bracket saying naturality. So I just asked the guy at the nursery, I said, so what kind of pests do these marigold flowers control? And by the way, these will be really easy for any of you to find. And the guy said, oh, just about all of them, because of the high oxalin. So it's the oxalin in there that controls the pests, apparently. So the thing is, you can also eat these flowers. So these are the best type of pest control, because you can eat it as well. Don't eat the leaves, just eat the flowers. And they taste a bit like rubbery and flavourless, so they're pretty good. And they'll definitely have good pigments, which are like antioxidants for us, or they end up equating to antioxidative activity in our body. So I'm just going to read you this large printout from the Earth Matters page. So firstly, diatomaceous earth. You can use that for things like carpenter ants and stuff. Now my actual girlfriend, she said she just used it and they came back a bit, so don't use it too sparingly, because and you'll have to read about how diatomaceous earth works. I'll give you a little excerpt here. It is ground into a very fine powder, finer than talcum, and when sprinkled where hard-bodied insects like carpenter ants frequent, it seems to be magnetically drawn to their bodies, and the fine powder then absorbs lipids from the exoskeleton of the insect and they dehydrate and they die. Because it is also a mild abrasive, it causes minute cuts to the exoskeleton and facilitates or speeds up the dehydration process. So that's how diatomaceous earth works. And then there is all these other ones from MotherEarthNews.com. There's a lot of other links on that Earth Matters page in Conscious Zine under the natural insect repellent post. So, ants apparently also hate cinnamon, garlic and mint, and I've noticed just really strong smelling stuff seems to deter a lot of insects. And I also remember hearing something on a documentary about how mosquitoes are attracted to like your stink. So from like 15 foot away they can smell my stink, my BO and stuff, and I guess that's maybe why they come to certain people and not others as well, I think. I think that plays a role in that as well, if I remember correctly. So anyway, boil bay leaves. A friend, Veronica, told me about this, about bay leaves. That's another natural insect repellent. So she said, boil bay leaves. It's a natural repellent for bugs. Chase away. Remember, this is in translated from her language, so it's a bit back to front syntax. For bugs, chase away a small fire safe with green branches above a smouldering all night, and bugs don't come close. Bay leaves in the car makes not enter any bug because the smell is very strong for them. So like I said, it appears a lot of the time to go along with strong smelling stuff. At least try it out before you go to synthetic products. Now, here's a list compiled by Australian Organic Gardening posted on Wake Up World. Organic bug spray from onion scraps, and it tells you a little bit of how to make it. Soak for a few days, up to a week. You know, put it in a Ziploc bag. Now you can go to the page to read all about this stuff. I don't want to read it all out because there's quite a few pages here. So I'm just going to mention sort of the headlines. Bury the onion bits around the plants that are prone to aphids, spiders and other pests. Or you can spray. So it seems that they're good against aphids. You can also mix your garlic trimmings with the onion pieces. Bugs hate garlic too. Okay, and then cure for white black spot mildew. So that's a big problem a lot of gardeners have. Add 1 litre of full cream milk to an 8 litre watering can. Watered on roses or mildew attracting plants will kill white black spot. Okay. So scales, I think that's a type of thing that we want to repel against. They're not saying use fish scales. Make the oil spray by blending 2 cups of vegetable oil with 1 cup of pure liquid soap and mix it until it turns white. So vegetable oil and some soap. Dilute 1 tablespoon of emulsion to 1 litre of water and spray all affected areas thoroughly. And you can read more about that. Scales shoot a sweet substance called honeydew. Ants literally farm the scale to feed on the honeydew. That's right, I've seen this on a documentary by Attenborough. Those little scales, they're a little animal. So ants literally farm the scale to feed on the honeydew. So this is a vegetable oil and liquid soap against scales. To keep aphids and other pests off your roses, finely chop 1 onion and 2 medium cloves of garlic. Okay, that's that same sort of recipe. Garlic spray, aluminium foil, foils for aphids. I've also heard you can put copper down to deter slugs because it shocks them when they go over the copper. So if you lay thin copper around your veggies, that will deter slugs because they get a little shock. So aluminium foil, foil around the base of plants such as tomatoes. The reflection confuses the insects and drives them away, and I imagine maybe the heat too. General pesticide, 3 hot green peppers, 3 cloves of garlic, liquid soap. Okay, so there's some more sort of, notice again peppers are a strong scented thing, that's what I was saying. Seems to be very attached. Insect repellents naturally and organic styles of them seem to be quite attached to strong smells and stuff. So soapy water against insect pests. Soapy water, not detergent. Try to find a base on caustic potash rather than caustic soda and mix well with water until frothy. For aphids and other soft-shelled insects. Oil sprays, suffocate insects. Boil 1 kilogram soap with 8 litres of oil, stirring until dissolved. Dilute 1 to 20 with water just before use. Tomato leaf spray, very poisonous. Cover leaves with water, boil and cool. Tomato leaf spray. Oh, okay, so you actually get the tomato leaves and use that. And the Solanaceae family do have poison and toxins often in, I'm not sure all of them, but often, because that belladonna, I found another hallucinogenic plant, and that belladonna one, which I didn't know, and that's in the Solanaceae family too. Pyrethrum spray. Pick almost open flowers of Tanacetum cinerellaiflorum and dry it in a cool place. Cover a few tablespoons of flowers with cheap sherry. Steep overnight. Mix with a litre of hot soapy water. Within a few days, cool and use within a few days as a general insecticide. Wormwood spray, chili spray, Lapsang Souchong tea. Deters possums from nipping rose tips. Oh, okay, and possibly, because possums eat a lot of your veggies in Australia, so that's a good one to try. Lapsang Souchong tea. Again, you can go find this list on the Earth Matters page. Many other materials can be used to make insect sprays depending on what you have available. Try quasar, garlic, marigolds, melaleuca, parsnips, turnips, eucalyptus, larkspur, elder, white cedar, Melia azadirach in brackets, or rhubarb. Against fungal diseases. Following plants reportedly contain antifungal or antibacterial chemicals that you can extract via infusions to spray on crops. Chamomile, chive, she oak, elder, eucalypt, garlic, horseradish, hyssop, melaleuca, neem, nettle, and thyme. And I do recommend using neem as well. That's a good one a lot of gardeners use. So there's another mixture. There's another one there I'm not going to read, and there's another one here, Bordeaux mixture. Okay, so this is an organic fungicide used to treat a wide range of rots, mildews and blights. Mix 90 grams of copper sulfate, bluestone with 4.5 litres of hot water in a non-metallic container and leave overnight. Next day mix 125 grams slaked lime with 4.5 litres of water in a non-metallic container. Combine both mixtures by stirring vigorously. Use immediately. An oil like codicide can be added to increase its effectiveness. Bordeaux spray may clog nozzles. Also, if overused, it may lead to build-up of copper in the soil and associated toxicity. So maybe that...
They're cutting down the trees. Then I guess we'll have to plant some more.
Sorry about that, the camera cut out. So as I was just about to say, or halfway through saying, I was saying, so maybe that's not the best one to use. So let's continue. Now, companion planting, that's a very good idea and a very organic way to control against some pests, because you know, you're just using another plant, you don't have to spray anything or do much. So use companion plants that mask the scent or appearance of desirable crops, so the ones you want to hide. Many highly aromatic plants contain chemicals designed to make them unattractive to pests. Camphor, mints, scented pelargoniums, wormwood, southernwood, lavender, balm of Gilead, rosemary, sage, and many other herbs have spicy bitter scents rather than sweet ones. When actively growing amongst desirable crops, these herbs can confuse pest insects by making attractive scents. Use companion plants that act as a trap, sacrifice, or indicator crops. Some plants, including nasturtium, mustard, and Chinese cabbage, can be used as decoys, so that pests attack them rather than your crop. Now that's actually what I've seen marigolds do against slugs too, on a video by John Kohler on growingyourgreens.com. He went to a friend's house and the lady showed her garden and showed how the marigolds were withered, and these withered marigolds had protected the lettuces from slugs, because the lettuces were being eaten, but then she planted marigolds and the slugs actually ate all the marigolds and the lettuces looked really good. So let's continue. They can be used as a decoy so that pests attack them rather than your crop. Roses planted along the edges of vineyards deter human predators. Also provide early warning of mildew disease. Use physical pest controls, the good old see 'em and squash 'em technique. That's another thing that John Kohler from Growing Your Greens always says too, that he likes to go out and actually pick 'em and squash 'em, that old method. Attract them with beer in a jar sunk into the ground, or lay a wooden plank a centimetre above the ground. They'll shelter underneath it and you can squash them in the morning. Yellow boards painted with sticky oil will attract aphids. Control ants to reduce aphid and scale infestations on trees. Oh, okay. A band of grease will stop them climbing up the trunk. Codling moth can be reduced by banding trees with corrugated cardboard soaked in Derris spray. I have no idea what Derris spray is. Organic spray. Quarter fill your spray bottle with vinegar, a teaspoon each of molasses. Melt that down in a hot cup of water, and liquid soap. Top up with tap water. The bug juice. Collect by hand the nuisance pest. Grub, snail, bug, whatever. Place them in a blender. Don't forget the lid. Strain, dilute 1 part to 20 parts and put it into your spray bottle, and then spray that underneath the leaves. So I guess that might act as a warning to a certain pest if they smell all their buddies or see all their buddies dead there. So milk. Milk is effective against a range of mildews on peas, pumpkins and cucumber leaves. Use equal parts milk and water. Spray every couple of days until the mildew is under control. If the mildew is out of control, remove the affected leaves, which you should always do anyway, to avoid the mildew from spreading, and do not water at night because the mildew can spread with its little spores really easy with a little bit of wind. Molasses spray is a good deterrent sticky spray. Ideal for cabbage moss and grubs on brassicas. Brassicas are the mustard family. Blend 1 tablespoon of molasses with 1 litre of hot water under the colour of weak tea, then mix 1 teaspoon of detergent, which will help the molasses to stick to the leaves. Spray top and underside of the leaves. You could also add vinegar to this brew to make it more potent. Okay, next page. Vinegar spray, vegetable oil, chamomile tea is a mild fungicide. Pyrethrum, harmless to animals and humans. 2 heaped tablespoon pyrethrum flowers stand in 1 litre of hot soapy water for 1 hour. Strain and use. Do not inhale the fumes, they are toxic. Chili pepper. Blend fresh chilies in water, add pure soap, strain and spray. Acts as a stomach poison and can be used against caterpillars. Spray along ant trails or kitchen shelves as an ant repellent. Used by beekeepers to keep ants from hives. Yeah, right, chili pepper. Okay, next, wormwood. Cover leaves in boiling water, infuse several hours. Dilute 1 part, brew 4 parts water. Use as a spray. Its very pungent qualities make it useful against soft-bodied insects. Good aphid and fly spray. General repellent for fleas, flies, house moth, ants and snakes. Next page. Rhubarb. Spray made from rhubarb leaves is harmless to bees and breaks down quickly, but it is harmful to humans. So be sure to keep it out of reach of children. Boil 1 kilogram of leaves in 3 litres of water for half an hour. Strain, add some soap. Dilute with equal parts of water before spraying. Vegetable oil. There's also insecticidal potassium soap. Insecticidal potassium soap has a high salt content, which when sprayed on susceptible insects desiccates and kills them. Being a contact insecticide, the target insect must come into direct contact with the spray. So that means good coverage is essential for optimum results. Susceptible insects include aphids, mealybug, some mite species, thripe and whitefly. Potassium-based soap products available on the home garden market include Miyoko Neem Tech. So that's got neem in it, obviously, and neem oil is very popular to use against some insects. Pure soap when mixed with water can be used as natural insecticide for the control of some sap-sucking insects, including aphids and mealybugs. It is a contact insecticide and works by breaking down the insect's exoskeleton, so that's like diatomaceous earth as well. So sulfur, that's another one. Registered as a protectant and eradicant fungicide for the control of powdery mildew on vegetables and ornamentals. But I don't ever recommend planting too many ornamentals when you can plant food trees or food plants. So rust on vegetables and various fungal diseases on stone fruit is what you can use this sulfur against. Sulfur is also registered as an insecticide for the control of mites on vegetables and ornamentals, grape leaf rust mite and grape leaf blister mite on grapes and white louse scale, citrus rust mite and citrus bud mite on citrus. Okay. I just planted a finger lime citrus tree, so if you don't know what that is, Mariah, that's the Citrus australicus, and this is a special type of citrus. It looks a lot different from other ones, and you can see Toby Hall's video, $30 Bandit video, for more info on the finger lime. Okay, sulfur should not be applied 21 days before or after an oil spray, in combination with an oil spray or when temperatures are expected to exceed 25 degrees Celsius. Sulfur can be purchased as sulfur spray, dusting sulfur, powdered sulfur, or wettable sulfur. And it can be found in various other products in combination with mancozeb, copper oxychloride, rotenone, and carbaryl. Okay, so lime sulfur, there's another one. Condy's crystals, potassium permanganate. Okay, some random one I don't know about. Let's read a bit of that. Codine's crystals can be mixed with water and sprayed onto plant foliage to control powdery mildew. They may also be used as a contact spray for the control of aphids and slugs. Condy's crystal spray recipe: mix 30 gram of Condy's crystals, 9 litre of warm water, and 30 milliliter of petroleum oil. Spray undiluted. Righto. Another molasses spray, another milk spray, another vinegar. Okay. Seeing another chili spray for aphids on roses. Garlic spray, another one. Ant repellent. Oh, that's a PNG. To eradicate millipedes or earwigs, 10 milliliter eucalyptus oil, 10 milliliter biodegradable hair shampoo, 80 milliliter water mix. Mix all ingredients together and spray around on the ground at night. Possum deterrent. So Shani, a friend of mine, I remember visiting her house down in Forsters along the east coast of Australia, more near Sydney. I'm up at the Gold Coast, and she had possum problems eating her child. Alright, the video cut out again. Oh, good old inferior technology. Okay, so possum deterrent. 300 grams of quasi chips. Suriname tree, wood, bark or root of this and other trees yielding bitter medicinal decoction to 1 litre of water. So you want to look for trees that yield bitter medicinal decoction. 300 grams of like their wood chips to 1 litre of water. So I mean, you could probably just go to your local nursery and ask them stuff too. Okay, there's a few more. Oh yeah, sorry. And it says boil chips for 5 minutes, strain and collect water mixture, and then you spray on the ground when cool. So that's for possum deterrent. So, suffocating sprays. Many small insects, especially thrips and aphids, can be suffocated by being sprayed with a weak solution of water-soluble glue. Fine clay mixed with water has a similar effect, but tends to clog spray nozzles. Here's another one, Lantana wormwood spray. So Lantana can be used. Boil 500 grams of lantana leaves in 1 litre of water for 20 minutes. Cool and strain, spray liberally on the affected plants, most effective against aphids. A stronger spray can be made by substituting wormwood for lantana. So I'm also going to have a look into that Ladies Love plant which I saw at the nursery, and I'll do a quick screencast-o-matic on that and add that to the end of this video. So thanks again, Mariah. I didn't plant a tree that would cost a lot for yours because I wanted to use that money, because you were actually the first person to pay me when I started off this $30 Bandit thing, and I only had a few avocados left for a few days of food. So I actually took Mariah's $30 and spent it on food, and so I just put those marigolds in because they're quite cheap, and because I wanted to give you a lot of help with natural insect repellent, because I believe that we should stay away from synthetic products in most of our facet of our lives, you know, in many regards, like the food we eat as well. The main premise being, you know, we're organic beings, not synthetic beings, and a lot of synthetic products are very harsh on the human body. So I always think try and go the organic, manic organic, rather than synthetic. So I hope you learned a bit there, Mariah, and anyone else who's watching, on organic pest control. And so that you can grow more and, you know, grow all your greens and get better food than money can buy at the store often too. I mean, how many times have you seen unripe peppers at the store, or even unripe tomato I've seen before, and an unripe apple. I'm currently not going to a certain shop because of that, and stuff like this. So instead of going to the shop, I encourage you to grow all your stuff as much as you can, and here's a great way to do that with organic pest control. Thanks guys, and this is another successful Gorilla Grow by the $30 Bandit. So I did a quick bit of Googling on that Ladies Love, but I couldn't find it, and I thought that might be the case just because of the search query, Ladies Love. I knew a whole lot of other articles would come up, so I'm actually going to plant Ladies Love, this plant, for someone else in some other video. So sorry about that, everyone. But yeah, I've got to do some study today for uni, so I can't Google all day. And so I thought I'd as well show you Contrasazine and where I got this natural pest information from. So as you can just see, I hovered over here and then stay hovered over it, because if I go like that, it disappears. So scrolling down, right here, Earth Matters, Naturality. I'm going to click on that, and we're in there. Okay. There's a lot here, and look, there's an example of organic compost tea making soil cheese, and the difference between chemical fertilizers, turf treated with chemical fertilizers, and it's not soil cheese, you can see. And anyway, so natural anti-mozzie ants bugs post, and you know, there's also some scattered other bits, but this is where I mainly took it from. And there's a lot of links here, as you can see. So you can go over all that. There's a playlist of permaculture on there. Bit on bay leaves, homemade tick repellent, and some stuff on symbiosis and stuff. So I hope you all enjoyed that. And enjoy your day. See ya.